Welcome, movie enthusiasts, to another exciting interview segment. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with Jonathan Stoddard, star of the thriller My Nanny Stole My Life, Lifetime movie network. And Jonathan takes on the role of Noah. Join us as we delve into Jonathan's insights into his character, the challenges of filming, and the compelling themes explored in My Nanny Stole My Life. Thank you for being here, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. It's always good to see you. Thank you.
And we can start. What initially attracted you to the role of Noah in My Nanny Stole My Life?
So Noah is a really kind of like cool and complex character, and that was the first thing that kind of caught my attention with him. It's always really interesting when one character is dealing with another character who's questioning reality. And my wife throughout the movie is going through not only postpartum, which is a very serious and real thing for mothers after childbirth, but then also dealing with a legitimate threat. And so she's always kind of like borderline on what's real, what's not real, like all this kind of stuff. And so I really love the complexity of what Noah, what he has to do in order to not only support her, but kind of the challenges he has to face and the decisions he has to make, not only for the baby, but for the family, for himself, for all of it. So he's a complex dude for sure.
Great. And can you tell us a little bit about how you prepare for portraying Noah, especially considering the complex dynamics within the storyline?
So something really cool about this script is that there are elements of the script that are actually near and dear to the director, to Matt, who is the director and also the writer. And so he and I had a lot of conversations because he wrote in some of the arguments and things that he and his wife had and some of the stuff that they went through. And so obviously this story is not based on a true story, but it is an expansion of some things that he experienced. And so a lot of my studying for the role was talking with him about what he went through. He really wanted Noah to help represent his journey as a father and as a husband as well. So that was most of the study.
Great. And My Nanny Stole My Life delves into themes of trust and betrayal. How did you approach portraying Noah's character amidst these themes?
Wait, sorry, ask that again?
My Nanny Stole My Life delves into themes of trust and betrayal.
Yeah.
How did you approach portraying Noah's in that perspective, in these themes, trust and betrayal?
Yeah. I mean, it similar just to the last question. It was because it was a lot of like approaching those kinds of themes is really interesting, especially dealing with a loved one. And so um, when we were filming Matt and I really wanted to make sure that Noah wasn't coming across as a mean guy or while he's dealing with some of the with her going through questioning reality, we didn't want Noah to come across as insensitive or not compassionate to the fact that what she's going through is a real thing postpartum. And my parents are doctors, psychiatrists and stuff as well. And so not only speaking with Matt about it and what he went through in his experience and kind of the struggles that he went through with his wife, who experienced some postpartum as well, but being able to talk with my family, try to get a deeper and more compassionate understanding. Um, and so it's always a fine line when trying to convey those kinds of themes. And hopefully I do it well. We'll find out. But um, but yeah, it's always a challenge. Uh, those are tough things to convey, and hopefully they're portrayed well throughout this movie.
And there is some particularly challenges did you face while bringing out life on screen in the specific?
Well, I mean yeah, I would say juggling portraying those ideas.
Yeah,
It is. It's such right. It's such an interesting fine tuning when you're working because working with phenomenal people is one thing, but then trying to be aware that like either getting upset is portraying the right levels of compassion and love and acceptance, but then also the tough love, the hard decisions of, well, I may love my wife, but if I have to protect my child, then that's a, and I feel like she is now a threat to the child. There's now a really interesting juxtaposition. There's a breaking down the character and trying to, we try to color the characters here and there and put a touch of firmness and a touch of compassion and a backbone of love, but then also the morality and ethics of wanting to make the right choices and at the expense of all of that, and which really explore the complexity of human nature and relationships and partnership and families and marriages. So uh, yeah, there were a lot of Noah's role is kind of stuck in the middle of these wild allegations and things that are happening. So there was a lot to juggle.
yeah. And Noah's relationship with both his wife and the nanny undergoes significant tension throughout the film. How did you work with the other actresses, to build this tension authentically?
Well, so here's the fun thing. Katarina and I have done a movie before together. So we've worked together. So working now on this one, that was a lot of fun. But here's kind of the fun story behind this. She and I did a movie a couple years ago that was a rom-com.
Okay.
So we fell in love on the screen. Like we, did the roles, we had fun. It was a lighthearted rom-com kind of thing. And so what's really fun about this is almost like a thriller sequel. It's not,
Yeah.
but right, because it's like, well, in one movie, John and Katarina fall in love. And now in the second movie, it's like now this is fast forward, a year later. They're married, they have a kid, but now it's dun dun dun, thrillers going on. So I mean, one, that's just kind of like a fun fact for the cinematic universe, but it's always a joy working with her. She's professional and on point and really great. Um, and then even Lindsay, like our cast was phenomenal, and it's mostly female driven, and they were incredible. And so I was very fortunate enough to work with all of these women. They were amazing.
Great. And there is a particular scene that is your favorite to film in this movie?
Oh, sorry, it cut out. What was that?
Favorite scene to film in this movie?
Oh, the favorite scene? Oh, that's a great question. I I don't know. That's a really good question. There's, if I can redirect it, not from a favorite scene, but there are a handful of because the movie itself is very intense, and there's a lot of anxiety that she's going through and a lot of stuff like that. I'll say like one of my favorite memories from the movie is that at one point when everything is building and she's worried about the baby being taken and the baby does get taken and Katerina's kind of going through whether it's insanity, whether it's legitimate, whether all these things. And I just have this really distinct memory of all of us kind of getting together to be able to support her while she was going through the challenges of conveying that because uh, she had a lot for this character to undergo, from the crying to the parent. Like she just really embodied everything, and so it's always great to band together as actors, trying to create really powerful work. And so that's one of my fondest memories throughout the whole thing is just all of us coming together to make this, to make these moments really count and to make them impactful.
Great. And without giving away any spoilers, what do you hope audiences take away from your portrayal of Noah in the movie?
Oh, that's also a really great question because without giving away a spoiler, um, because Noah goes through a really interesting arc and a journey throughout this. And he, I think one of the biggest things is communicate. And I think it's really easy within relationships to get caught up in the fact that I don't want to communicate. We just have to make decisions because life is hard, surviving is hard, paying the rent is hard, having a family is hard, getting food on the table is hard, working every day, 12, 13, 14 hours, and then coming home and then not wanting to have the long discussions about the leadership and development of the family and where it's going and all of that kind of stuff. And not only does that happen kind of with Noah, but it also happens with Katarina's character as well. And I think one of the biggest takeaways, no matter what, is communication, because communication with any two people that love each other will lead to support, compassion, togetherness. It'll make the tough decisions easier. The challenges won't seem as bad, and it's really easy for things to spiral out if there isn't that level of communication. So communicate, people, and if you're in a relationship, communicate.
Yeah, and I confirm. Okay, change of subject. At Survive the Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-com. What is your all-time favorite
My all-time favorite, my movie
rom-com?
or one of mine or in
Christmas.
general?
Uh, you choose.
I'm a big fan of Elf. I love Elf. And
Great.
then I mean, The Holiday is great. Love Actually. Like these are just like phenomenal Christmas rom-com movies that like from the cast to the story, everything, it's fun. So I would say those are three that pop into my head right away. I love those.
Okay. And the one of yours?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. My dad's favorite Christmas rom-com that I've done is A Prince and Pauper Christmas. Because I
Okay.
play two characters that swap identities. But something that's kind of fun and interesting is that I think I had five Christmas movies that were in circulation last Christmas. And I've now already filmed, I think, four or five other more.
Oh,
And
great.
so, yeah, by this December, I think there's going to be 10 Christmas movies in circulation. Everything from like country Christmas music stuff to more British Prince Christmas stuff to ballet. Like there is a lot of there's a lot of Christmas coming.
I'm looking forward to them. Okay, and this is another question, and you already said some of them, but you can tease something about your next projects.
Well, so those are Christmas movies that are going to be coming out, but I do have a really cool, great, funny movie called Valentine's Town, and that's going to be coming out over the summer. And then I have another movie that's a kind of cool 18th century Western movie that's going to be hitting theaters as well, and that's going to be at the end of summer. Actually, I think there are like four movies that are going to come out throughout the course of the summer. And then, yeah, there's another one called Somewhere in Montana with Graham McTavish. That's a very cool kind of drama, human interest piece story. Um, and and I'm blanking on the fourth one. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on the horizon, at least for things that are getting released, and then stuff that I'm going to be shooting that I can't divulge yet, but there are a couple of really cool projects that I'm going to be working on later this year.
Great, great. And make sure to catch up the movie on Thursday, May 16th, tonight, on Lifetime Movie Network. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining us today. It's a pleasure as well, as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.